Hey guys, greetings and welcome back. For those who are here, today we're playing Burn the Midnight Oil. It's just a demo for right now, and I've seen it on my page for quite a few days now, I would say. For some reason, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play it. I should play it. So, we're playing it. Um, ooh. Now, as far as I'm aware, I think there's the Kickstarter. It's 14 days, so 2 weeks before it's up. So do support them. I am very excited for this to be a full game. I've never played it, but I did see a little something here and there on the YouTube short, so let's not procrastinate and just go straight in. Let's go Cersei first. Personality. For 2 decades, Cersei stalked the streets of North Haven as a private investigator. Accompanied by her sidekick Edgar, she mostly deals with trivial jobs like catching cheating spouses, finding missing pets, and slaying vampires. In recent years, Cersei's lost her passion for detective work, but the city isn't done with her just yet. When she's approached by 2 different clients looking for the same person, she decides to take on this one last case. So is Cersei the one we're playing? Somewhere. Don't remember the month. 1966. Just the year, because that's all that's important. Something not quite human sits on the edge of the stranger's bed, leisurely lapping at the blood coating her fingertips, savoring her leftovers. Oh, okay. The interesting leftovers. Also, the art is just scrumptious. She turns her head to stare at tonight's meal. A handsome man currently lost inside his dreams. He wants to be certain she's not imagining the steady rise and fall of his chest. The last thing she needs is a trail of bodies leading them to her. But even the imprints of her teeth on his fair skin has already faded. When he wakes up tomorrow, his memories of the entire night, of her too, will be gone. He'll go on with his life like he never met her. He'll get married, have a kid or two, grow old, and die. She'll remember him for a while, but she won't be sad about it, or miss him, or ever ponder what could have been. It's not the first meal whose bed she seduced herself into. It could never be the last. So pretty. Oh, Cersei is the vampire? So pretty. Her eyes trace the stranger's feature one last time, searching in vain for a different face. His face. Before your humanity was stolen from you, could you have been anything like this man? Or have you always worn your penchant for destruction with unbridled force or pride? Forgive me for my reading. I know I'm going to butcher this a lot. When the stranger stirs in his sleep, she accepts that she won't find whatever she is looking for here. The time has come to part ways. Sweet dreams, Arthur. At least she thinks that was his name. Probably wasn't. As no one's going to be suspicious of why there's a bunch of blood all over the place. Maker? It is midnight and I'm writing to you from yet another city whose name I couldn't be bothered to learn. I'm not sure what day it is or how long it's been since I bid you goodbye the last time. Maybe it's been days, maybe it's been weeks, maybe it's even been years. Since your death, I haven't had anywhere to call home. I only stay in one place long enough to take shelter while the sun is out, and then I'm back on the prowl. It's mostly men. I desperately want them to remind me of you, even though none of them look anything like the you I knew. Living or dead, I suspect no one will ever remind me of you. I should probably be grateful for that, shouldn't I? Maker, I have taken to hunting every night just to keep sane, but I don't think it's working. I fear I might have lost my mind long ago without noticing. At least I don't think I'm making things worse. At least I'm keeping busy, which means I have less time to think. That's a good thing. If I think too hard or too long, I'll start thinking of you. I make bad decisions when I think of you. Maker? Who is Maker and why is Maker here? Remember how you always used to say that creatures like us weren't made for rules? I always disagreed, but only out of spite. We both knew you were right. I hate being told what to do. I hate it so much. I'll fuck everything up for myself just to do the opposite. Don't do that, actually. I miss it now, though. If you were here, I wouldn't have those doubts. I wouldn't have to worry about right or wrong. You would make all the decisions. You alone would be responsible for the terrible, terrible consequences of our actions. Without you, I find that I'm no longer just lonely. I'm alone. Ooh. You promised me. Even death could never part us. Why didn't you take me with you? Shit. Sorry. Just like so poetic, and then it's just like shit. She sinks away from the crowd, seeking shelter in the shadow of the nearest alleyway. Shit. So this is it. All those years led to this. She's still doing the exact same bullshit she used to do when she was trailing after him. Only now she's doing it alone. To what end? What is the point of living like this? Hell, you even call it living? What? She almost doesn't dare to say it. What if I just ended it? She's already died once. Her second death doesn't even have to count. She's probably not gonna state it if she tries it. Some might call it suicide, but Cersei gave up on heaven a long time ago. If such a place even exists, she was barred from entry many murders ago. All things must end someday anyway. Perhaps it's my turn now. The thought brings her a strange sense of peace. She slows her heart down, leans her back against the brick wall, and just listens. She hears traffic. Meet. She hears laughter. Oh. She hears music. The tunes. She hears colleagues stumbling to their next bar, arguing over who owes the next round. Oh, my poor darling. Hear a couple spilling out over the cinema, giggling and necking, and whatever couples do. Okay. She really strains her ears. She can even hear a couple of homeless drunks laughing their asses off over a joke that definitely doesn't deserve such unfiltered glee. Come on. She is so... Okay, she's depressed. Will a hug make it better? It all sounds like life. Fuck. All these years, I'm sorry, I can't be dramatic. And she's ready to kick the bucket up because what? Because he's gone? She can't even make it a year without him? How is that fair? It's not fair at all. It's stupid, and worst of all, it's humiliating. Oh, I actually pronounced it right, that's first. She's mourned enough, doubted her decisions enough. She wants to live. She's going to live. Yeah. I should did a complete 180 that quick. Yeah, that's right. She'll keep going out of pure fucking spite, if that's what it, Oh. Something drives through her chest, narrowly missing her undead heart. I was about to say, I think we missed a couple of letters here. Thump. Thump, thump. Thump, 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 thump. There's a heartbeat, I'd reckon. Beating so violently, it has to hurt. It takes her longer than it should to remember that it can't be hers. Good evening. You look terrified. I shift from the improvised stake in her chest to the man responsible for it. Why did you stab us? Perhaps he's more of a boy than a man. You're overlooking the fact you got stabbed. Can't be a lot older than she was when she was changed. Not that any of that matters right now. Stake through the heart. How medieval of you. The boy doesn't respond. He's busy watching in horror as she rips the stake out of her chest. She doesn't flinch at the pain. It's there, like an insistent little bug, but it doesn't really hurt. Never does anymore. If I may offer you some advice for the next time you try to murder one of us, don't bother with the classics. Crosses, garlic, and all that nonsense. None of it works. Except the sun. But she's not stupid, so she's omitting that part. Don't be afraid. She takes a step forward. He's dribbling down, but still not a word. How does he know that you're a vampire? You're the one who tried to kill me. Shouldn't I be the one to fear you? She catches her hand right before it touches his face. He hadn't even realized she was reaching for him. It's a bad habit of hers. She's always cold. She's always reaching for warmth. Why don't we play a game? Let's play a game. Why don't you guess what can kill me? Is this Jigsaw or something? She doesn't like the silence. She wants to make him talk. If you get it right, I'll even reward you. Generous, no? More silence. This isn't some trick. I find you vaguely entertaining, so I tend to let you keep your life either way. Still silent. My guy is terrified. She stomps her foot, frustration seeping through. You're not going to talk to me at all? Not even meeting her eyes anymore, she follows his gaze downwards. Ugh. Men. Women. Interesting choice of priorities. Checking out my boobs at a time like this. Boy. What? No, that's vile. I would never do that. He speaks. That's one way to do it. But now I'm offended. What's wrong with my boobs? My little boyoings? Nothing. I wouldn't know because I wasn't looking at your chest area. I'm not that kind of man. No, but I'll stab you with a heartbeat. Then what kind of man are you? He ignores the question. I was looking at that. He gestures wildly to the hole in her chest. Oh. Or rather, where the hole used to be, less than a minute ago. It's already healed, like it was never there. Another reason luck isn't on your side tonight. I just fed. What? I just fed. So I heal faster. The blank, stupid look on his face is oddly endearing. Do you know nothing about our biology? Idiot. What did you say to me? I called you an idiot. Would you like me to repeat that? You kinda already did. He whips out a knife she already knew he was hiding in the pocket of his coat. And not one soul sees this. Okay, sure. Don't patronize me. He points the blade at her. Aren't vampires fast? Like, don't they have, like, supernatural speed? Like, just flash. Or call me an idiot. If you behave like an idiot, I'm going to call you an idiot. Simply smarten up, if it bothers you. You think I care what you think of me, you leech? Evidently, you're not particularly good at hiding your thoughts. Why are you dragging this out? You're standing there looking like an idiot. I'll never beg a vampire for my life. If that's what you're asking for, just kill me and be done with this already. He walked up to us, and now he's offended that we're taking our sweet time. She sort of, kind of, not really, tries to stifle her laugh. It pisses him off even more. What's so funny, you? Sorry, it's just your accent. I only realized it now, but it's so British. Welcome to North Haven, England, where quite literally everyone talks like this. Oh, so that's where we are. She looks around, taking her surroundings for the first time. She's not sure how she got here, but it doesn't matter anymore, does it? She's here now. You're not from here. What gave it away? Your accent? Are you American? Americano. When it's convenient. Suppose it doesn't matter where you come from. You still fit in perfectly with the other bloodthirsty freaks in this city. Ha! You amuse me. I definitely can't kill you now. Why not? Why? You almost sound disappointed. Of course not. But it doesn't matter what I want. You should do it anyway. Okay, so... He just... What? Why? Because we can't both walk away from this. It doesn't work that way. What if we decide to? Says who? He rolls his eyes. How about this? If you don't kill me first, I'm going to stab you in the back as you walk away. With that silly little kitchen knife? I've seen babies with stronger grips on their toys than you've got on that. His grip loosens. Meanwhile, I could kill you with minimal effort. Right here, right now. I could snap your skinny little neck with my bare hands and not even break a sweat. Only that wouldn't be fun, now would it? I don't kill as often as you think, though I like to take pleasure in it when I do. I'd make it slow, slice your neck, to keep the cut shallow enough that I have to suck the blood out. I prefer to drink straight from the tap. You see, more intimate that way. Once I've drained you, I'll dump your corpse behind one of those bins and skip town. By the time someone finds you, I'll be long gone. Nobody will even know I was here. He lowers his knife, averting his eyes to stare at particularly nothing. Do what you want. There's no one left who would care enough to try and find me anyway. Yeah, I had a feeling he was like one of those guys. She recognizes the frustration in his eyes all too well. She's seen it countless times in her own reflection. Monsters took someone from him just like a monster took someone from her. Well, no one will have to. As I keep saying, I'm not going to kill you. He hurries to object, but she lifts a finger, and that's enough to shut him up. He's like, shh, shh, shh. I've heard it all before. And you can't kill me. You're bold, I will give you that, but I don't think you could even kill the weakest of us. You're not strong enough, and that's not an insult or a slight against your ego, or an attempt at undermining you. It's a simple fact. You are too weak. Yo, I'm all. Anyway, don't you think you're underestimating me a little too much? Let me stop being cringe. No, I see you exactly as you are. You're no threat to me. You're no threat to anyone. You want revenge, but for whatever reason, you can't kill the one you actually want dead. You poured all your resentment into the first vampire you could find. Me, apparently. Maybe you thought I'd be an easy kill. Maybe you really thought you could do it. But if I had to guess, I think you knew you would fail. I think you wanted to die. I imagine you've changed your mind by now. Staring death in the face, you're no longer so tough. Still your pride prevails. But even if anything I just said happened to be the truth, you never admit it. Would you? He drops the knife on the ground and Cersei knows she's got him. Not weak because he feels fear or because he still looks at her like she is a person deserving of empathy or worse, empathy. He's weak because he was born that way. Cersei was much stronger when she met the one who made her maker. Had spent an eternity mastering the art of pretending to be something she'd never be again. Yet when she laid eyes on him, still seeing what he really was. A monster. But even knowing that, she'd still lost him. He's still been too weak. Not anymore, though. If you like, I could teach you. Seeing his confusion, she elaborates. How is he speaking? Like, I don't know about this. Is he a love interest? How to kill vampires, I mean. You would teach me how to kill your own kind. Yeah, why not? No matter how much of an idiot you think I am, surely you don't think I'd believe that a genuine offer. Your kind prey on the weak, but you're loyal to your own. Even I know that much. He's not wrong. Contrary to popular belief, most vampires are social creatures. They thrive when they are together. I prefer to be alone. Thank you. In theory, at least, reality is more complicated. It's frowned upon, I know, but I don't mind offending people. As a matter of fact, it might just be my favorite pastime. So it's not just me. You're insufferable with everyone. How dare you? But yes, I am. She offers her hand with a smile far too dangerous for anyone sensible to trust. What do you say? Do we have a deal? Only an idiot would strike a deal with the devil like you. Or someone mightily desperate. Mightily desperate idiot, then. Sighing, he takes her hand, bites back a grin. Well, I guess he finally gives in on being the idiot. Before I forget, what's your name? Edgar James Thorne. You know, I find it funny, and this is not a shot for those who have a first name as a middle name or a first name as a last name, but it's just interesting how you have two first names in one. Like, I'm curious on what the parents were thinking. But alas, that sounds so pretentious. I'm just going to call you Eddie, okay? If you must. What about you? What's your name? If I told you, would you even use it? Oh, well, yes. That's what people do, isn't it? Call each other by one another's names. Been a while since anyone has used her name. She supposed it would be rude to withhold it from him now. You call me Cersei. So may you. His grip on her hand tightens. I want to ask you something, Cersei. Yes. When you've taught me all that you can, what's going to stop me from killing you? She allows herself that grin now, showing him all her teeth. Nothing but your own compassion. Okay. Footsteps. Ooh. North Haven, 1986. Wait, wasn't it 66 previously on Digimon? Finding Elysium isn't difficult. The dark doesn't bother Cersei the way of my others. Even if it did, she navigated these tunnels enough times to remember each step. It's getting inside that poses some trouble. It wasn't always such a hassle. Cersei was once a regular at Elysium, cautiously welcomed by its patrons because of her relationship with Lazarus. In 6 or so years now, that she'd been warned to never show her face here again. Of course, that flimsy ban has never stopped her before, nor will it stop her tonight. About to stand guard, cut straight to the point. Since you managed to find your way here, I take it you've got an invite. Not a question. Liza paid a pretty penny for the spells to ensure only those with an invitation will ever reach Elysium. Fortunately for Cersei, no one remembered to amend those spells when she was banned. So she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna let myself in. Oh, you don't recognize me? Jedi? Yes. But given that she doesn't recognize him either, he's probably new. Lucky me. What do they call you? He may not recognize her, but he'll definitely have been warned of her name. He thinks quickly. Donna. Not going to be on the list, but it doesn't need to be. That's what her talent is for. Donna. Flips through the guest list till he hits the bottom of the last page. Yeah, no Donna. Takes a more aggressive stance, but it's all bravado. It reeks of insecurity. He would gladly exploit that. Been a while, hasn't it? I might be rusty. Oh boy. Hold on. Save. Oh, there we go. I was like, okay, there we go. So, first of all, let's persuade him. Ha! Well, of course I'm not on that list. I'm not one of your every night Patreons. I've been personally invited by your boss. The bouncer shuffles his feet, red eyes running over her form. While Cersei smiles, she never smiles back. You're certainly his type. Of course. Still, I can't let you in on your word alone. If you wait here, I'll quickly confirm with Nisha. Cersei rests a hand on his bare forearm, leaning forward with a dangerous grin. You should trust me. I have no reason to lie to you. Right? Right. That was easy. Propulsion isn't mind control. She can't force people to entirely transgress their own nature. It simply sways people in certain directions. Different methods, seduction, intimidation, persuasion works on different people. The weaker their will, the farther she can push them. With enough practice and the right target, you can convince someone to do almost anything. Now may I come in? What? Oh, yeah, of course you can. He shakes his head, still in the daze, and steps aside. Sorry about that. We'll get it sorted with Nisha so you're on the list next time. How sweet of you. And just like that, she's in. Elysium. A very empty bar, seems. The only sanctuary in the city for creatures of the night. Since the 70s, Elysium's been an Epicurean haven for vamps to gather and feast without repercussions. Goodness me. Donors, that's what they call the humans selling their blood here. Some of them are natural masochists, taking pleasure in being fed on. Others are only here to make some good money. Most are here for both, and a select few loonies come here with dreams of one day becoming vampires themselves. But to my knowledge, few, if any, have yet had the honor of experiencing the change. It's nearly been years since Cersei last set foot in Elysium. One quick look around promptly reminds her why she's been avoiding the hellhole. Nothing's changed. Everything's exactly the same. Cersei inhales, her stale lungs breathing in the irresistible saturated scent of blood. The familiarity should comfort her. In a city that's rapidly changing, more so now than ever, Elysium's been one of her only constants. But it gets so damn boring. Among the 40 to 50 something vamps who permanently reside in North Haven, Cersei can count on one hand which ones aren't regulars in Elysium. They're a tight-knit group who comes here night after night to dance, drink, and smooch. It will bring Cersei herself here tonight. The same reason she always comes to Elysium. She's looking for someone. Let's see. She double-checks the picture the client provided. An old photograph, a blonde guy, cute enough if you're in his age group, with baby blue eyes and a smile that's up to no good. Basically, I'm looking for a less live version of this guy. Cool. Scans the dance floor for a mop of blonde curls, but there's no one. Either our intel was off or he's not here yet. But like most of us, he's taken on a different look in his new life. It's annoying they don't have a more recent picture. This is what the client offered, and Eggert couldn't find anything more recent. For now, she should find someone who might have a better idea of where she could find him. Question is, should I find Nisha or Lazarus for that? Let's find Nisha. If Lazarus, banned us, right? It's most likely gonna be a terrible idea. Oh, the game. Okay. The game froze for a second. Very scary. That might just be my computer that's acting questionable. There we go. It's scary when it just casually freezes up. Let's find Nisha first. Lazarus may have founded Elysium, but it's his right hand who runs the place. As a human, Nisha hasn't been a popular choice for the job. He fought hard to earn the patron's respect. Not everyone, human or vampire, in Elysium turns to Nisha when they've got a problem. Anyone who messes with Elysium's equilibrium will also have to answer to her wrath. I'll have to talk to her if I want to get anything done. Ignoring the urge to make the objectively worst decision, Cersei goes looking for Nisha. I feel like if we go for Lazarus, he's just gonna be like, why are you here? Banished. Banished. Immediately. It doesn't take long for her to find her. She's at her favorite spot, leaned back against the bar, as if hanging haphazardly from her red lips. The way her eyes curve in amusement when she spots Cersei says more than words could ever. Is that who I think it is? Welcome back from the dead, babe. I wouldn't call Nisha a friend, but we do get along. Helps that Nisha is a businesswoman, though her loyalties will always be to Lazarus and Elysium. Nisha appreciates making a little action on the side when she can. Only instead of selling her own blood, she sells information. It makes her more valuable to Cersei than any donor ever could be. Missed me? I guess it does get pretty dead around here without you. No pun intended. She puts out her cig on the bar counter. Where have you been this past? Shit, has it already been a year? Yeah, it has been. We're gonna be doing a lot of saves, because if I have to go backwards, then I want to make sure that I can, go back in peace. There we go. Tell the truth. Nora Hanisha's obviously been keeping tabs on her after all. It's her job to track potential patrons and threats. Cersei elects to play nonchalant. Been lazy lately. Asked Eddie to accept fewer cases for a while. That's a shame. That you were one of the lucky few to actually enjoy your job. So did I. I take it you still enjoy yours? Most nights. Anyway, who said you're only allowed to break the ban when you've got shit to do? Could just show up here for fun. A couple of years ago, Cersei might have agreed with her. Now messing with Lazarus and his ridiculous ban just isn't as fun as it used to be. Maybe because I've been doing it for 6 years straight. Honestly, the biggest surprise is that I didn't get bored of it sooner. Did you really be encouraging me to break the rules? Probably not. Who's gonna tell? Nisha tips her head towards the bar. How about a drink before you share what brings you here? My treat. I'm good. You're turning down a free drink? I'm not thirsty. Nisha smiles like she doesn't believe her. And she would be right not to. Thirst is never fully satisfied. Fortunately, Nisha is a lot more respectful of boundaries than Cersei's ever been. She knows to not push it. You don't mind if I make myself one, do you? Be my guest. Nisha slips behind the counter, playfully hip-checking the bartender on the service to make more space for her. The bartender shakes their head at her with a smile. Nisha, trying to steal my job again. Work harder and I won't be able to. Who's this? Alright. Jude, meet Cersei. Cersei this is. Actually, I don't think I care. But you just asked. You know what? Never mind. Jude looks more amused than offended. So, you're the one they call Cersei. Weren't you banned forever? No one actually cares about that, except maybe Lazarus, depending on his mood. Then why do you continue to make it a pain in my ass for me every time I visit? Doesn't matter. You always find a way in, don't you? No thanks to you. Cersei eyes Jude, who's watching their interaction with strange interest. You're new. Sort of. Dude, you said... Yeah. Like the song. The skin can't flesh, but they still look bashful. Like the song. Cersei's attention returns to Nisha. Why are there so many new faces? First the bouncer, and now this one. Jude isn't new. They've worked here for quite a while. Used to be a donor, actually. Cersei doesn't bother hiding her surprise. Lazarus actually changed one of them? No. Not Lazarus, not directly, at least. Another vampire passing through town lost control of his hunger. Drank too much, you know how it goes. Lazarus made him change me. Nisha's frowning. Then she notices Cersei watching her and fakes a smile. He saved their life. He did. He really did. More like he ruined it. You wouldn't have been in the situation in the first place if Lazarus hadn't hired you. What happened to the one who made you? Nisha answers for them again. Oh, he's dead. Like, dead. Good riddance. I suppose congratulations are in order. Dude, you survived your fangling year. It was an interesting experience. The first year after the change is never easy, but under the right guidance, it's manageable. Dude may not have had their maker by their side, but the Illyrian vamps still look out for each other, so long as it's convenient. It's nice to meet you, at least. Lazarus talks about you so much. I've always felt like I've already knew you. Oh, yeah? What's he been saying? Nothing nice. The other night, he went on a rant about you for hours. Said that in almost 200 years of unlife, you're the worst bat he's ever met. Lazarus needs to practice his insults if that's the best he's got. I'm disappointed. Oh, he said far worse. Just don't think it's polite to repeat. That's just how he expresses his affection. He's a sentimental soul. I think that's enough shit staring for one night. Jude, back to work. Yes, ma'am. She spares Cersei one last glance and a brief smile. Then it's only her and Nisha again. I kinda want Jude to be in the story just a little bit while longer. Like, they seem like a very neat wingman. Nice kid. They're older than you in mortal years. Like I said. Nice kid. Nisha's eyes never leave the drink she's mixing, but Cersei still feels watched. So, if you're not here to keep me company, why are you here? I'm looking for someone. You'll have to be a little more specific. Cersei holds up the target's photo for Nisha to see. He's a fangling. I don't know what they call him, but our client says he's been lurking around Elysium the past couple of nights. I'm hoping I'll find him here tonight too. Nisha isn't even looking, so she pushes. Recognize him? No one sets foot inside Elysium without Nisha knowing. Nisha knows Cersei knows that, why they both know it's total bullshit when Nisha barely glances at the picture before she shrugs. Boys like that are too a penny in North Haven. What makes you think I would remember? Here we go. Unless you've got something to help remind me. You only get greedier and greedier. Thankfully, greed is easy to work with. Cersei slides a few pounds over... Pounds? Oh yeah, they did say they was in England. Cersei slides a few pounds over the counter. Nisha is quick to tuck it away inside her pocket. Oh yeah, now I remember, I guarantee. Suddenly she's got a bounty of information to share. They call him Seth, and your intel's not wrong. He's a fangling and a fairly fresh one too. Maybe a couple of weeks dead, give or take. He has no one. Whoever made him, they're no longer in the picture, which doesn't spell great odds for him in this world. He's only been here twice before, but he should be here tonight unless he's too scared. Why would he be scared? He's been on trial so far. If he wants to stay on the list, he needs to start paying. But without a job or someone to sponsor his undead life, well, let's just say his options for gathering enough money aren't exactly legal. Not that we care how he earns his keep, as long as it doesn't bring us any unwanted attention. So now that you're after him, I guess I can forget about all of that. Definitely won't be able to pay after you're done with him. I'd say I'm sorry, but... You're not, I know. Nisha strains her drinks into a chilled martini glass. Can I ask what he did? I'm sure you already know. Why pretend you don't? Nisha sips her drink, Cersei waits. If I let you do this... I don't need your permission. Nisha rolls her eyes. Fine, you're right. I do know Seth's a piece of shit and doesn't deserve to exist. Most of Asilium's clientele, including yourself once upon a time, are pieces of shit who should be dead. That doesn't mean you can kill all of them. I'm only allowing it this time because Seth isn't a regular piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Why is he... Give him a different nickname, please. His body count is going to lead the pigs to our doors. I really, really, really don't want to see Orin's holier than thou mug more than I absolutely have to. Whatever you plan on doing to Seth, spare me the gory details. The less I know, the better for both. Go ahead. Just don't do it anywhere near Asilium. You have a zero-tolerance policy towards violence between vamps here. In case you forgot. How's that going for you, by the way? Just asking since your zero-tolerance policy towards me is hardly being enforced. You're already banned. What are we supposed to do? Ban you again? You could unban me, if you're not going to put any real effort into keeping me out. Nisha attempts a wary smile, but ends up sighing instead. You act like it was my decision. Alright, I almost forgot. No matter how much you like to pretend otherwise, you're still Laz's little minion. Fuck off. I don't even like it here, babe. Every time you come, all you do is complain. And you should know better than to take this personally. You dated him. You know what Lazarus is like. Love and hate, romance and violence, making love and fucking is all the same to that beautiful messed up mind of his. Another sip of her drink. For what it's worth, he really does miss you. Meanwhile, I couldn't be happier to be rid of him. Nisha sighs again, more amused than annoyed this time. Is it because your kind has too much time on your hands that you waste so much of it? I guess you'll find out on your own, assuming things go the way you want them to. Nisha drops the grin. He wants to be one with him. She's never dared to say it out loud. At least not to Cersei, but it's obvious to anyone who pays enough attention. Now personally, I would never wish to change upon anyone, not even the worst enemy. But every now and then, I'll meet someone who thrives in the night, someone who might as well have been born to be one of us. He's exactly like that. But Cersei will never change her, and unless Alcerus permits it, neither will any of the other vampires that hang around Asilium. Nisha's only chance is Lazarus. We'll see how that turns out for her. Speaking of from experience, he loves to disappoint. Back to the Fingling. Will you keep an eye out for him, please? Pretty please. Alright. I'll even send him your way if I see him. In return, you'll make sure he's dealt with far away from here. Deal? Sure. I'm curious, Cersei. Unless you want Lazarus to learn of our little partnership. Cersei couldn't care less if Lazarus learns that Nisha's been working with her detective agency for years now. Not her who's going to get in trouble, it'll be Nisha, his right hand, who gave away intel on his clients at his club. But it'd be inconvenient to lose the best informant. Eddie would nag about it for nights. It'll be discreet, don't worry. That's all I ask. I want to know what Nisha looks like. Not much time passes before one of Asilium's goons notifies Cersei of the Fangling's arrival. Looks like Nisha's fulfilled her end of the bargain. Now it's Cersei's turn. Moments later, Cersei finds Seth loitering near the stage. She was right to assume that he's changed since the photograph. He's at least a few years older, though he's still young enough to have just graduated university. He's shaved off the baby fat and grown a mediocre mustache. With a cheeky smile he shoots her way is identical to the one of the picture. For a split second, Cersei hesitates. He still looks so young, so full of life even in death. That she remembers what he's done. She remembers the woman he's hurt. She remembers he deserves this. Hey. He's grinning from ear to ear, a little too brightly for someone who's supposed to be dead. She closes in. Well, hello there. What do they call you? Doesn't matter. You're welcome to call me whatever you want. Really? Typical of a Fangling. Seth is a slave to his own impulses. Perhaps he's merely deferring to her as an older vampire, or he simply can't help his excitement at a woman showing interest in him first. Either way, she smiles, deciding there's no point in wasting time. Seduction has always come easiest for her. You should come somewhere with me. Somewhere more private. Seth lunges at the opportunity without reservation. Sure, when? I can go anytime. And now, where to? He hides her disgust behind a well-timed giggle. Come with me. She slips a hand into his and guides the overly eager vamps through the crowd. Yeah, to a hotel. The bouncer who almost didn't let her in earlier still guards the entrance. He doesn't say anything when he sees them, simply watches as they disappear down the dark tunnel. Probably thinking, why couldn't that be me? When they get out of the tunnels, Cersei leads Seth through the streets with confidence, knowing exactly where to bring him. It's where I met Eddie for the first time, 20 years ago. I thought so. So it was 66 in the 80-something, at the point of 87. I spared his life that night, but I've ended many lives there since to make up for it. So doesn't shut up once. Never been with a vamp before. Is it better than sex with humans? Shouldn't we get some blood first? He enjoys the sound of his own voice too much. Not even once does he question her silence. He's just hubba. She stops at the end of the dingy alley, far away enough from him to maintain her end of the deal. She looks around with a frown. You want to do it this? You want to do this here? Would a nice girl like you prefer a hotel? Not a girl. Seth's jaw drops stupidly. You mean? I was referring to my age. Oh yeah, of course not. I'm sure you're experienced. Anyways, I divide you back to mine, but I don't have a place yet. Just rolled into North Haven the other night. Still getting my shit sorted out. She ignored him, letting him laugh nervously to himself while she looks around, checking there's no junkies or creeps hiding around the corner. Seems it's just the two of us here. And he's back to being excited. Oh, you dirty... Oh my god. Oh, you dirty girl. You got a king for doing it outside, yeah? Ew. Ew, indeed. Ew. You picked a great spot then. No way anyone will find us here until they open one of those freaking windows. Keep it down. As long as we're on the same page. She launches for him, grabbing him by the throat and shoving him up against the wall. Yeah! He doesn't need air to survive, but he's forgotten that in his panic, he gasps desperately, clawing at the hands wrapped tight around his neck. Cersei stares into his eyes the entire time. She doesn't want to miss the moment the fight leaves him, the moment he realizes he doesn't stand a chance. He's older. Stronger. I am better. I am better. It's going to kill him. It's going to fucking kill him. Please. He only notices he's crying when a stray tear hits her skin. Typical. When threats don't work, they always resort to begging. Please don't. Please, I don't know what I've done to piss you off, but... She can feel the joy seeping out of her as Teeth's crying grows louder. She forgot how annoying it can be to kill fanglings. They're too sensitive. Whether it's pain or pleasure, they feel everything too strongly. That's why they don't last long without an old vampire to guide them in the first year. Leave them to their own antics and they'll fuck like rabbits and die like cattle. Jesus Christ! Are you doing this to me? Quit wailing, and I'll get to that point. Part. It's a little hard not to wail when you're about to kill me, but sure, I'll be bloody quiet. She lifts her chin, daring him to speak another word. I'm waiting. Perfect. Listen, I think we both can agree you've been stupid. Least you could have done is be more careful with where you take your meals, not eating as many sheep from the same pen. Then maybe no one would have noticed. But no, on top of that, you were childish enough to play with your food and leave evidence behind. She sees the exact moment her words start to seep into his dumb little brain. The games you like weren't very fun for your playmates, were they? Of course you liked that they didn't like it. Didn't you? That's what this is about. They were fucking into it. And you talk like I've been touching them. Yes, you were. I haven't. I've never said that. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sick. My mom taught me better. I see. So she warned you not to stick your where it's unwanted, but she forgot to tell you not to eat people? Damn. Don't bother denying it. You torture them. Seth, you snack on their flesh while they still breathe. So? What if I like to steal a bite? Their blood is good enough to drink, but their flesh is too dirty for us. Have you vampires tried meat once? Yes, even you. I believe no you have. Like I already told you, I fucking enjoyed it. Her fingers twitch. Her grip on his throat threatening to tighten. Did they tell you that before or after you drained and defiled them? I'd asked them personally, but last I checked, the dead don't talk. Well, with the exception of us. Yeah, because, you know, us lonely little beings just chilling into the sidelines, just like, Iggle Biggle. Also, can we just talk about the fit? It's like giving Slay Dracula. Why does that even matter? Aren't we the same? Don't lump us in together. Aren't we? Then you should know it isn't fair to judge me. Rugged vampires, apex predators, top of the food chain. Who cares what happens to the cattle? God, can you get any more cliche? A Wadi no Serif? Is that you? Your cattles. Ferret. See, that's the problem with vampires like yourself. You have no regard for consequences. You think that just because you can, you should. Well, let me clue you in a little secret. She squeezes hard, strangling him. You'd be 8. You shouldn't have. Release him. 1, 2, 3. Oh. You've got to be kidding. Release him. I will not repeat myself. There's only one vampire in the city who would dare order Circe around like that. Lazarus? Abraxas. Even better. He's kinda handsome. What is this? Oh! This gives an idea on... Oh, my stars. I love this. Hold on. So Abraxas, captain of the SSF's North Haven branch, the lone vampire on his team. His agents respect him as a leader, but his loyalty on the SSF made him unpopular with the local supernaturals. Rumor has it that Abraxas once lived as an aristocrat, and he still owns a mansion somewhere on the outskirts of North Haven. He has declined to comment because everyone's going to show up. Let's see, what is this? Compulsion. A vampiric ability that allows one to induce others to follow their will. Depending on the vampire's strength and the strength or weakness of the target's willpower, the vampire could theoretically convince the target to act or think any way they want. The effect is temporary, but consistent long-term exposure to compulsion may cause permanent personality or behavioral changes. Out of all the vampiric talents, compulsion might just be the most powerful, as well as one of the most easily abused. Clans carefully hoard the ability, only allowing the eldest members to learn and practice it. In the hands of the most practical vampires, compulsion might be one of the closest powers to mind control. However, this kind of power demands a natural inclination, as well as decades, if not centuries, of study. So we can go ahead and always hit the glossary and get a little more information about everything. Like that. Abraxas. Wait, hold on, it's giving a woo-wah. Abraxas, why did you leave us? Anyway. This is your final warning, Miss Circe. I strongly recommend you heed it. I've heard you the first time, Abraxas, but I'm not one of your lapdogs. You should ask nicely if you want me to do something for you, as if playing nice with you has ever done anyone any good. How would you know? You've never tried. You're trying to distract me, but your efforts are in vain. Tonight, I have even less patience for your antics than usual. Seth is under the protection of the Supernatural Secrecy Force. If you harm as much as a hair on his head, he will be in defiance of North Haven supernatural law. What other goodies? Supernatural Secrecy Force is a privately owned counterterrorism and intelligence agency, particularly operating under political and financial support from multiple governments and private individuals. The key priority is to shield the existence of the supernatural world from humans. The SSF has offices all around the world, but they hold more power in some places than others. Most SSF agents are supernaturals, but the higher-ups are almost exclusively human. That's interesting. Though the SSF claim to care for the best interest of humans and non-humans alike, the regulations often put supernaturals at a disadvantage. Expected, the supernaturals who have decided to sign up to work for the SSF are, at best, distrusted by other supernaturals. At worst, they are completely ostracized. Purely out of childish spite, she considers plucking a hair from Seth's head just to prove her point. It'll grow back in seconds, after all. Release him. Let me handle him. Meh. It's not as if this would be my first crime. I've broken at least 2 laws just tonight. This is a serious matter. How serious? I cannot say much. Just know that Seth is our only witness to an important investigation. I am? He is? I beg your pardon? In her surprise, Circe drops Seth on his behind. Seth scrambles to his feet, running to hide behind Abraxas' imposing frame. He's not going to protect you. It's hard to tell, but beneath that thick jacket, Abraxas is hiding almost 6 feet and 5 inches of lean muscle. It's kind of obvious. My guy's almost touching the top of the screen. If only he'd use all those muscles for something productive, like throwing me around the bedroom. Left, right, ceiling, floor. But I digress. Normally, no self-respecting vampire would run to the SSF agent for help, but Seth either doesn't know that or, yeah, no, he definitely has no respect for himself. Follow me, one of my agents is waiting for us around the corner. Hey, where do you think you're going? I'm not done with you. Abraxas answers without pause. I am. Sheesh, okay. I'm not. I failed to see how that's my problem. Abraxas couldn't look more bored if he tried. It's infuriating how he always carries himself with perfect poise, but as his shoulders hang heavy with guilt, he thinks no one can see. Thank you for not putting up too much of a fight this time, Miss Cersei. I appreciate it when you are willing to collaborate. Unlike the rest of his good-for-nothing squad, Abraxas has never, not even once, flinched in the face of her wrath. But there's always a time for first. Collaborate. You want me to show you how I collaborate? Girl, I'm sorry. You gotta understand, like, you have to look up at him. Like, you have to understand, like, she has to look up. Actually, she should be glad that I am not her. Cause you see that right there, that her fingers point at? Face first, boom. She turns up to him, even in hills. She has to glare up at him, but the height difference has never intimidated her. He looks so far down. This is unnecessary. I could hear you perfectly fine where you stood. Go fuck yourself. Not even a flinch. Very mature. Why does it look like he's looking at us? Are you trying to break the fourth wall? You are more than welcome to waste my time any other night, Miss Cersei. Just not this one. He tries to sidestep her, but she follows, blocking his path. Don't pretend you're above this. You love arguing with me. That's why you're always in my business, messing with my work. His brows furrow. It's the only hint that her words have affected him in any way. I am not in your business. You're in mine. Right, sure. That's why I stalked you here. Oh wait, that wasn't me. That was you. Oh please, I didn't stalk you. Then how'd you find us? Coincidence. Coincidence? Seriously? That's the best you could think of? It isn't the first time you have brought prey to this alley. I was in the area looking for Seth. Figured it would be worth looking. So yes, it was nothing more than a coincidence that I found you. He moves to pass her again, but she moves again to block him. Do you even know who you're protecting here? Do you know what this bastard does to his victims? He doesn't just drain them, he tortures them. He deserves worse than death. You're one to talk. You just tried to kill me. Seth pushes out his chest, mimicking Abraxas' stance the best he can. Denied. You saw what she did. You saw everything, right, Captain? Captain? Abraxas, you better give him the elbow when he gets home. Quiet. But Seth only gets louder. Backhand him. You did. You saw how this she-devil threatened me. This attempted murder. What are you waiting for? Do your job and arrest her. Cersei doesn't rise to her own defense. There's no need, because she sees Abraxas' response coming from a mile off. On what grounds? He's like, shucks, you said you finna die? I saw nothing. What? I just told you, she tried to murder me. That isn't something the SSF is concerned with. We cannot get involved every time there's a minor squabble between two supernaturals. What? Shut it! Oh, parents in a nutshell when you try to interrupt. They trade a peeved glance at an unintentional coordination. After a stony stare, Abraxas is first to break the tense silence. I'm not gonna lie. Mom, Dad. You have no authority here, Miss Cersei. Now go your way, and I'll go mine. The palm of his cold hand goes along the small of her back, gently pushing her aside. Then he grabs Seth by the elbow to drag him to the mouth of the alley. Ah, why are they so fine? She got little elf ears. They both got elf ears. Cersei follows right up their heels. What happens to him after you get what you need? Follow protocol and release him. But he's a criminal. Because he's predictable like that, Abraxas just offers her the usual spiel. The SSF is the counterterrorism and intelligence agency. We investigate and neutralize supernatural threats for the greater good of society. We have neither the time nor reason to chase down all the addicts, muggers, and vandals who haunt these streets. But even if I wanted to do something, we have no case against them. We cannot abuse the law by detaining him without proof of a crime. My word is your proof? Have I ever lied to you before? Many times, but I'm not lying this time. Abraxas pauses, turning to look at her. She meets his assessing stare with confidence. You have proof that the vampire has violated supernatural law? Gather your evidence, report it to Supernatural Crime Division. The Supernatural Crime Division, a secret police division focused on investigating and preventing supernatural crimes, led by a wizard named Advik. The public eye, they appear as a special crime division. Not bad. SCD. Sounds like a medicine. I put in a word with the inspector, or whoever's on shift, to make sure he's looked into as soon as possible. And if he is indeed guilty of the claims you make, I'll personally ensure that he gets what he deserves. Now will you please step aside and let me do my job? She steps back, hiding her fangs between tightly pressed lips. Fine. Not going to report shit. By the time they get through the backlogs to his files, they will already have fled the city. Surrender him to SSF custody for now. No other option, but as soon as he's out of their sight. But snickers under his breath. Seriously, you right, you stupid. 1 second starts taunting her, the next he's curled up on the floor, clutching his broken nose as he cries out in pain. Oh, yeah, what was that for? Happened so fast, he almost misses the look of uncharacteristic rage on Abraxas' face. Mind your tongue in the presence of a lady. Ooh, I have to romanticize him. He was like, look, if you decide to go ahead and talk trash or whatever, feel free, but not in front of the woman. Clearing his throat, he actually has the audacity to look sheepish when his eyes meet Cersei's. We'll take a detour. The nose will heal before we reach the office. I think Abraxas has a soft spot for us. Hope your car crashes on the way. I wish I had friends that I could joke like this with, break a leg. For a split second, she thinks she sees the ghost of a smile grace on his lips. Great, now I'm hallucinating. Good night to you too, Miss Cersei. Ewar. He grabs the back of Stealth's hoodie, effortlessly lifting him with one arm and carrying him out of the alley. I would have just dragged him, but okay. She doesn't watch them leave. She's too pissed to spend another second here. And to about she goes. Once she's certain she's still alone, she transforms and flies into the night. Whoa. Cersei flies through an open window of her flat. Miss Cersei. Transformed just in time to land on her feet inside. Who the hell does he think he is? Ooh! I'm sorry. She stalks around the tiny space, tearing off her clothes while cursing Abraxas in every language known to mankind. He's never known anyone more frustrating. She pulls into a stop in front of a mirror so she could adjust her underclothes and check her makeup. Her reflection makes her pause. Sometimes I wish the myths were true and vampires didn't have reflections. She sees herself in the mirror. She can never resist picking her appearance apart. The red lips painted that colors her mouth will match her eyes. The black hair she frantically restyles with every change of the season. Body that stopped aging. The year she thinks she turned 22, only a few days short of 23. She tries to carry herself to show she's older than she looks. Staring herself down in the mirror, she can't help feeling helplessly young. The near 100 years of her existence, she reinvented herself dozens of times. But why do I still look so alike the girl I used to be? I wish I could forget her. But every time I see myself, there she is. At least she's beautiful. Small mercy. Beautiful doesn't cut it. Gorgeous. Num num num. She eats down. I'm too old to mope around like this. Cersei picks her clothes back up, slipping them back on. Embarrassing, really, letting Abraxas shake her confidence like this. She has a kitten! She smirks. Back again, I see. She quiets her steps, sneaking around as she searches for the little intruder. Come out, wherever you are. She catches the culprit under her halfly discarded bra. Your neighbor's cat. Mar? How did you manage to escape your owner this time, She pisses at Ellie, staring her from her hiding spot. She's not sure the sounds actually make a difference. Cat just seems to really like her. Cersei's neighbor cat likes to sneak into Cersei's flat. I find it hilarious. It's just like, surprise! This cat go meow. I assume, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I assume. Or why else would you sneak in here all the time, She picks the cat up, cradling her in her arms and pressing a kiss to her head. Poor Mrs. Harris. Be worried sick about you. Wait here. I'll have Eddie take you home. I'll take that as a yes, ma'am. Good kitty. Downstairs, she finds Eckert hunched over his desk, nose buried in mountains of paperwork. Ah! I thought he was fine when he was younger, but Jesus Christ. When Eddie's working, he might as well be dead through the rest of the world. The only sign he's actually a living person, and not an eerily realistic statue, is when his hands move to scratch at his 5 o'clock shadow. Sometimes it's all too easy to forget that Eckert isn't the same boy I met 20 years ago. That means he has to be like 40. Eckert is the only human companion she's ever had. He knows their relationship isn't conventional. Vampires don't keep the company of humans they aren't feeding on or sleeping with, planning to change. If Eckert isn't a blood bag, or a quick fuck, or a toy to her. The friend. Perhaps her only friend in this world. When we first met, we looked the same age. Perhaps that's why it feels so strange to watch him grow while I don't. Growing old suits him. Where he used to be cute, he is now handsome. See, she sees it. She sees what I see, and I like what I see. Slip into his lap. At least in her opinion, that is. Ooh, time to save again. I'm going to slip into his lap. I would hate to spook him, because if he's like deep down in it, is just busy. Ugh. I'd be like, why would you do that? Lucy crawls over the desk and into his lap. She buries her nose into his collar and inhales. It smells the same as always. Like coffee, tobacco, and cheap body wash. Come on, but the cheap body wash be hitting sometimes. Comfortable? Yes! Yes! Sorry. She's done this enough times that it barely phases him anymore, which is disappointing. Oh well, it just means she has to try a little harder to fluster him. Very comfortable. Glad one of us is. Forge slips out of his lap and sits on the edge of the desk instead. You'll never guess what happened again. Abraxas messed up the job, didn't he? She was talking about Ellie, but being reminded of Abraxas sours her mood. How'd you know? Heard you cursing up a storm upstairs. Oh, right. Thin floors. Edgar doesn't ask for details, well aware Cersei will supply them regardless. Never takes much for her to go off on another one of her rants about Abraxas and the supernatural secrecy force. They've been a thorn in their operations since the very start. Separate from the Supernatural Crime Division, the SSF are an intelligence agency specialized in so-called counter-terrorism. Broadly speaking, they've been ordered to do whatever it takes to ensure that the existence of supernatural remain a secret from the larger world. By manipulate the narrative behind the scenes, only stepping forward when the incident grows big enough that it threatens exposure. On occasions, they will even directly eliminate assumed threats. The SSF higher-ups are all mortals, but they send supernaturals like Abraxas to do the dirty field work for them. Many would insist that the SSF are a necessary evil, but everyone still thinks supernaturals who join up are sellouts. Innocence or guilty matters little to the SSF. The job is quite literally to brush things under the rug, usually at the expense of non-humans. Cities that have experienced a rise of vampires don't let the SSF anywhere near if they can help it. Rise of Vampires refers to historical events in which a single or several vampires clans have set up a stronghold in the region. Aside from wizards, their strongholds tend to shun the presence of other non-humans. The past decade, Paris has been Europe's largest vampire stronghold. On the other hand, the British vampire population, once prosperous, has been on the decline for generations. Why am I getting tongue-tied? Breathe, my dear, breathe. But in places like North Haven, it's hard to get all the different non-humans to agree on anything other than not wanting humans to discover us. Not sure they have intervened again, but I'm surprised they haven't shut the Thorn investigations down. Given our egregious list of violations, a private investigation agency found by Cersei and Eggert accept jobs from humans and supernaturals alike. Occasionally, they even take on contracts to slay vampires. Okay. I mean, technically speaking, right? If you were to think about it, they help keep the vampires under wraps, because if you let vampires just do willy-nilly things, then, oh no, they're God. More people will see because the evidence will be there. But if you kill them right then and there, voila, under the rug. And who knows, dump the body in underground somewhere. It'll be fine. I am not condoning murder and violence, though. I don't like Abraxas any more than you do, but I've got to give it to him. His patience with you has been impressive. Careful, that almost sounded like a compliment. But Egger's not wrong. Cersei should be a major liability in the SSF's book. She's bent or outright broken their rules plenty of times, yet Abraxas doesn't report half of the stuff she gets up to. He has a soft spot for her. Because of that, now seems to believe she owes him some kind of favor. As if I ask for his help. You know what? Maybe he fancies you. Exactly! My colossal ego is inclined to agree, but I don't think that's it. Besides, he's married. Oh, here's the wife. I'll have to know. But his wife passed away ages ago. Well, maybe he's back on the table. Oh my gosh, I'm too down bad. And yet, even after all this time, he still hasn't taken off his wedding ring. About 15 years ago, when they'd spoken face to face for the first time, it's been one of those first things she's noticed about him. At that time, she's been disappointed, assuming his wife was still alive. She's done a lot of awful things without guilt, but sleeping with married men was something she liked to avoid. Please, I beg. It's crazy how many married men decide to go ahead and cheat on their wives, and just be surprised, like, oh my gosh, why are you upset? And I just feel bad for those who just end up being the lucky chosen one who end up taking on said married man and having no clue, or having a clue, but just not being able to do anything about it. But I digress. In hindsight, she recognizes she dodged a bullet, even if only barely. It's a long time, I suppose. Eggert scratches his nose bridge, giving away how nervous he is. He never fails to amuse her how easy he is to read. Well, that's quite sad, isn't it? You must have loved her very much. Must be painful, missing someone that long. I guess. Because he knows far too well what it feels like to mourn someone you'll never hold again. Doesn't have to mean that you love them. But Eggert wouldn't be thinking about her experience in this moment. He must be thinking about his sister. What happened to his sister? Oh no, his sister's dead. Oh. On to more fun matters. Remember what day it is? Is it our anniversary? With everything going on tonight, she's nearly forgotten herself, so she can't say she blames him when Eggert pulls a face that says he definitely doesn't remember. Of course I remember. It's February 19th. Even better. 21st. First of all, it's March. Jesus Christ. Is it really? Can never really tell. And it's raining all year around anyway. Oh, fine. I'll tell you. It's a... Oh, I got it right. I knew it. Oh, fine. I'll tell you. It's our anniversary. Our what? It's been 20 years since the night we first met. Oh. Is that something to celebrate? Come on. Yes. I'm actually kind of shocked that I actually managed to get it right. It is our anniversary. That's so sweet. Oh, should I pretend to be angry? No. I don't know about you, but I'm surprised we made it this long. Now that we can agree on, wasn't one of us supposed to kill the other by now? says it lightly, but he's half serious. One of them should be dead by now. Aegon lights a cig, barely hiding his grin. When he shoves it between his lips, Cersei smirks back at him. This kind of banter has long been part of their daily routine. Provokes him, he retorts with some snark, they laugh or roll their eyes, then rinse and repeat. It's taken a while to get here, of course. When they first met, Aegon was so angry with the world, he took everything as an insult. He's mellowed out over the years, gotten better at reserving his anger for when it's actually warranted. Most of the time. To let our client know that we didn't get the fingling. Ugh, blah. It's annoying, but they don't have any other option. The anonymous client was clear in their instructions. Seth must die tonight, or else no reward. With Seth in the SSF's custody, there's no way they can get to him before the sun's up. Just realized. Have to return the deposit, won't we? It's the right thing to do. Can we afford to do that? Per your request, we've taken fewer jobs as of late, so we're stretched even thinner than usual. We want to feel more secure about keeping the lights on. We'll take a few more cases. Spend less on clothes. Come on, she's slaying. Why would I do either of those things when you're always working so hard to make sure we're a month ahead on rent? I've only got so much hair, Cersei. And I've only got so many dresses. Aegon heaves a sigh. Bet you might say that? I'll just take it out of my own pay then. No! He nods, pleased with his quick thinking. Anyway, that can all wait till tomorrow. Go to the Golden Cat and celebrate our 20th. You don't need to use our anniversary as an excuse. We go there every night. But tonight will be special. Drinks on me. Well, technically it's our rapidly depleting business funds that will be paying, but the sentiment stands. You sure know how to spoil a bat. So that's a yes? Yes. Yes. Alright, just let me fetch my coat. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something important? The cat. They share a knowing look. Only know one person who knocks like that. You take it. But I always answer the door. Only because you're so good at it. Edgar puts out his cig and walks over to the door, opening it to reveal. Edgar, Cersei, thank goodness, you're still here. Miss Harris, the next door neighbor, rushes in. Let's see, the elderly neighbor who lives next door to Thorne Investigations never complains about the strange guests who frequent her neighbors at odd hours. She's a kind old woman who thankfully never complains about the suspicious people going in and out of Thorne's investigation at all hours. Helps that her eyesight isn't what it used to be. Same goes for her hearing, actually. Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know how busy you are, doing your detective work, saving the day and all that, but I can't find my baby anywhere. Her baby being her cat Ellie. I feel awful bringing this to you at this hour, but would you mind having a look for her? I couldn't sleep knowing she's somewhere out there, cold and alone and lost, shivering to death. My poor baby. Her wailing's loud enough to wake up the entire building. Edgar starts to sweat. Edgar doesn't look like he's in the mood to go on a cat hunt. Jesus, I don't know why that was so hard to read. Luckily for him, they won't have to. Good news. We've already found her. Her bawling immediately stops. You did? Yes, she's upstairs. She is? Edgar guides Miss Harris to the sofa. She sinks into it with relief. Oh, how lucky I am to have the city's finest detectives as my neighbors. It's not that hard to find someone who's hiding inside your own home. So she retrieves Ellie from upstairs, hesitantly returning her to her owner. Edgar watches the exchange with amusement. Been nagging for ages that she should just stroll down to the shelter and pick up a cat of her own. Ellie, I lack the confidence to keep something living alive. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Harris hugs the cat to her chest. They lets out a not-so-pleasant meow. You saved my baby again. How can I ever repay you two? A little money for drinks? It's nothing. I'm glad to help you anytime, free of charge. Nonsense! I'll bake you biscuits and bring them over tomorrow. Knowing she wouldn't even be able to eat them, and no good could come from having Miss Harris lurking around unless necessary. Unless necessary. Oh, okay. Cersei tries to tell her. There's really no need. We love that. Thank you so much. Seriously? Edgar just looks offended. I'm always serious about desserts. Don't have my man starved of his good kush. Very good, Mr. Thorne. It is important for growing boys to eat plenty. Think, good jerk. Good jerk? Oh dear God. Good joke. The only thing Ash is growing is a pitiful beard. Edgar rose his jaw. Can he not grow a beard? I think he's doing a good job. And for that, you need plenty of calories. Sure. Cersei gently gets Miss Harris up out of the chair and guides her to the door. Whole way there, Miss Harris rambles about what she's going to bake tomorrow. Cersei almost has to shove her out the door. When it's finally shut behind her, Cersei turns to glare at Edgar. What? It would be foolish for me to turn away free food? Right? You won't have to pay for it. Anyway, with Miss Harris gone, there's only one thing left to do. Drinks. On God. Cheers. The Golden Cat is almost the polar opposite of Asilium. All supernaturals, and even a few humans who are in the know, come here. As long as you keep your fanged claws, wands, whatever you've got to yourself, you're welcome to pop in for a drink. Oh, okay. You look so fine. Why you gotta be with Cersei? Entering the pub, Cersei's eyes immediately hone in on one guest in particular. Oh, look. It's your little friend. He's kinda nice. Sorry. Raoul, a local cop with muscles that aren't just for show, is seated near the bar nursing a beer in one hand. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Dante's partner officer and one of the few humans in the SCD. Thanks to its family connections and knowledge, Raoul got glimpses into the world of supernaturals very early, and his fascination with it has only grown, ultimately resulting in him joining the SCD. Don't call him that. The way you phrase it makes it sound indecent. But he is your friend. Last I checked, your only friend. I have other friends. There's Richard, back in my hometown. I haven't spoken to that brat in some time. Even thought about him in a while. And there's you. We're friends, aren't we? Oh, look at him blushing. Oh, of course. Embarrassed by how much his words mean to her, Cersei quick to change the subject. That backfired. Thankfully, Edgar doesn't seem to mind, looking more than a little flustered himself. By the way, Raoul's like gay, right? What makes you say that? He's never responded to any of my flirting. Perhaps he's just not into you. No, he's definitely gay. I love debates like this. You think, like, what is his type? She only flirts with Raoul to mess with Edgar, but it's still surprising that Edgar hasn't noticed his friend's not into women. Is he really so oblivious, or is Raoul just that private? Maybe it's easier for her to tell because he also enjoys the company of her own sex. Wait, you've been flirting with him? Oh, is he jelly? That's what he was mulling over. They walk up to Raoul. Edgar greets him first. Evening, Raoul. You get off work early tonight. You and Raoul have an interesting friendship. You call it that? They meet up every few weeks, but it's never a planned thing. Just sit next to each other and chat over a few drinks, bonding over being humans in a world of supernaturals or whatever. Oh, hello, Edgar. Unfortunately, I'm technically still on the clock. Good to see you as well, Cersei. How have you been? Have you been well? Raoul nods to Cersei, acknowledging her too, smiling, but she can't tell if it's out of politeness or if he's genuinely happy to see them. That's an interesting smirk. Sure. But what about you? Are you here on official business? Anything we should look out for? Well, takes a look around. Where's your pup, by the way? Where to see you without him? Really, a moment after he's mentioned, Cersei watches Dante. I am this. Okay, I'm sorry. Raoul's police partner steps into the bar. A half-human, half-hellhound who works in the Supernatural Crime Division. After struck a deal with his boss and late mother's friend, Ariane Dante is unable to resign for the moment. To protect his real identity, Dante pretends to be a werewolf. The only one who knows the truth is Ariane. Interesting. Oh. Hi there. Arf, arf. Let me start barking. Arf, arf, arf. Speak of the devil. Or werewolf, I guess. For being technical. Dante looks a little out of sorts, hair sticking up even more than usual. Could it be that time of the month? He notices them immediately, but doesn't even spare them as much as a grunt or acknowledgement, rubbing his arm. He instead steps at the other side of the bar to order a beer. I've always thought of him as a loose cannon, waiting to burst. But he looks especially on edge tonight. Something's rattled him. Then again, Dante's never behaved the way you would expect for an officer to. Perhaps that's why I mind him less. Is he avoiding us? I think he can hear you. Yes, that was the point. He raises her voice. Perfect timing, Dante. We were just talking about you. What? No, we weren't. You do realize that when you say it like that, you only sound more suspicious? Cersei! Raoul rests his chin on his palm, watching the scene with a little too much amusement for her liking. For some reason, Dante seriously freaks Edgar out. Wait, is it really that time of the month for him? Now this shouldn't be so surprising because Edgar has been easily scared as long as Cersei known him. However, he's especially intimidated by Dante. To his defense, Dante does look like he punched your lights out if you look at him the wrong way or the wrong day, on the wrong day. Everyone's just so jacked and just... It's the half shirt thing. I tried wearing one of those and I looked interesting, to say the least. Definitely didn't look good, but I digress. But you have to be pretty stupid to try something on Eddie while I'm around. In the meantime, Dante has picked up his beer and walked over. He offers a nonchalant wave with his free hand, which probably is as good of a greeting as they'll get from him. Did you forget to brush your hair this morning? Or did you run into trouble on your way here? If anyone's picking on you, you can always let me know. I don't like animal abuse. Just ran into Abraxas. Seen him recently? Oh, you know what? We're in the same notion here. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Stay salty. Stay salty. You actually earned it. Being reminded of Abraxas' existence again, there's a frown on her face. Not really. When Dante smirks, Cersei knows he's gotten exactly what he wanted by breaking up Abraxas. I heard he and his agents were snooping around that museum expo and interviewing potential witnesses. There was a period there and I read it straight through for some reason. A museum? An explosion? Could that be related to why Abraxas needed Seth? Guess they'll be wandering all around the city till that's sorted. Keeping an eye on things. Ugh. If you haven't run into him yet, I'm sure you will. A lot. The smugness shifts into curiosity. Heard anything about that, though? Not sure what you're asking me for. I haven't got a clue what they're up to. And speaking from experience, it's best if it stays that way. Actually, why do you even care? Aren't the SSF and the police supposed to stay out of each other's business as much as they can? Unless it's related to whatever the two of you are working on. Bro wouldn't tell us anything, but maybe he will. You didn't give me a chance to say anything. And if you would have told me the truth, if I did. As if, I feel like I read that wrong. She could have forced him to. If she really wanted to, she could use compulsion or either of them right now, and there wouldn't be much they could do about it. Dante's trickier because he's about as stubborn as one gets. Varel is only human. She wouldn't though, not because she's squeamish about compelling either of them. She's just not curious enough. Still, if Dante will tell her anything, she'll take it. Well, since you asked so nicely, no. You suck. I don't. That's your job. Okay, calm down, Dante, with the dire jokes. Edgar, itching to get away from Dante, interrupts. Okay, well, you two look busy and we're in desperate need of drinks. We'll leave you to it. But, come on, Cersei, you've bothered them enough for tonight. How dare you? I'm perfectly lovely and pleasant to be around. Raoul waves to Edgar. Good to see you, Edgar. Yeah, cheers. Edgar takes her arm and she begrudgingly lets him pull her to another corner of the bar. If it wasn't him, it would never happen. They nab their usual seats close to the bartender. When they drink a lot, so it's good to have have easy access. In order to maintain some level of dignity, we've agreed to never discuss exactly how much of our income goes to the Golden Cat. The bartender is swift. In a minute, they have their usuals in front of them. Some cocktail for Edgar and a totally not conspicuous glass of red wine for Cersei. So when are we going to address the elephant in the room? Edgar sips his cocktail, raising an eyebrow at Cersei's question. I'm talking about your addiction to sugar. It'd be criminal to even call that a drink. One is about 1% alcohol and 109% sugar. Come on. Spare my man. Not quite sure those numbers add up. Besides, what right do you have to judge anyone's choice of drink when you order the same thing every night? Why waste money on alcohol when it just spoils the taste of what I really want? I thought alcohol enhanced the taste of blood. Actually, I can't believe I never asked you that before. She knows exactly why he hasn't asked. With each year that passes, Edgar grows more determined to avoid acknowledging what she really is. Depends on the vamp, but nothing will ever be drinking it fresh from the tap. And have you started doing that again? She doesn't miss the regret in his eyes before he averts them, so she can't help the irritation she feels at what he's insinuating. Not since I ended things with Lazarus. You know that. Right. But you think that's all a lie? Didn't say that. Even I were doing it. Not like that Fangling I met tonight. Have self-control. I'm fully capable I'm fully capable of making my own decisions. I don't drink for people who don't want me to, and I certainly don't drain people. You can stop looking at me like I bitch your pasty ass. Come on, have mercy. And who knows, maybe a little pasty gives a good flavor. Edgar's face falls in his fans, but his trembling shoulders do little to conceal his laughter. It's not funny. I'm annoyed with you. I know, I'm sorry. Sorry I'm annoyed? Sorry you said it in the first place. Both? She's grinning now, too. And that's why the laughter. Why'd you have to call me pasty? You know, I've been trying really hard to build a tan. Man, you're gonna have to go ahead and do that for a good 100 years, respectively. You should give up on that. You're only adding to the constellation of freckles on your face. Thought you liked my freckles. I said that? Well, I must have been lying, since I'm barely lying about everything these days. He grimaces, seems he thought she was going to let that one get swept under the rug. Oof, I'm sorry, Cece. Didn't mean to accuse you. No, you're not like that. I know you wouldn't. It's hard to forget that shit I've seen. The things I know you're capable of if you weren't held back by your morals. So he comes back to this, huh? Edgar only likes the Cersei who stands up against his own kind, looks out for the weak. Not the Cersei who lures strangers into bed and sucks their blood. I don't know how to tell him that I'm both, though I don't. Nothing's holding me back. I make it sound like I'm forced to do this, but I choose to. Not an easy choice. She's been like that Fingling. She's been worse. And it was fun. But she doesn't want to know how Edgar will look at her if she confesses that to him. I understand. Except he doesn't. Therein lies the problem. Edgar clears his throat and pulls on a smile that trembles at the corners. We're here to celebrate. I should be talking about happier things, shouldn't we? Courtesy of decades of practice, the smile she puts on herself is a lot more convincing. Right. Like your girly choice of drink. We're still on that. And aside from the increased risk of diabetes, I find it cute that you have a sweet tooth. At 40... I knew he was 40! At 44 years old, being described as cute is no longer very flattering, but... Wait a second. Presses her finger to his lips, then motions to the radio playing on the counter. Aw, I want to see him flustered more. The news is on. Local authorities have stated a gas leak caused the explosion at Beaumont Museum last night. Beaumont Museum? That's where Dante said the SSF were digging around, right? The museum's doors will remain closed to the public till repairs on the private wing are complete. Blah, blah, blah. Among other news, the body of 23-year-old Jane Stewart was found last night. Earlier this month, Miss Stewart was reported missing. My God, has human news always been this boring? It's always the same thing. Someone was robbed, someone was murdered, someone was kidnapped. At least there's an explosion involving this time. But what's the aftermath? The next day, there's something else. Not anything worse, but nothing better either. You don't have to listen to the news to know how terrible the world can be. Step outside. Ever been? Edgar and Cersei look up at the bartender. What, the Bearmount Museum? Owned by one of the greatest wizards of our time. See here, wizard and witches. A subspecies of humans born with the ability to use their life force as magic. The substantial life force grants them double, sometimes even triple, the life expectancy of normal humans. They are immune to most human diseases. Although it varies from one wizard to another, no wizard has an unlimited life force. When a wizard has exerted its supply, they must take time to rest and recover, otherwise they may experience magic sickness. Magic sickness is curable in the early stages, but if a wizard continues to ignore the warning signs, they risk never being able to use magic again. In the absolute worst cases, they can either lead to death. Throughout history, wizards have formed several societies, ranging from smaller convenes to larger communities. Interesting. Abracadabra. Anyway, renowned Bearmount. Well, of course it's going to be named after him. One of the greatest wizards in the 1900s, supposedly. No one's actually seen renowned Bearmount in decades. Rumors say he left all his research and businesses in the hands of his successor, Simone Bearmount, before disappearing to live the rest of his life in solitude. Rest of its days in solitude. Bearmount Museum, which houses various magical values belonging to the Bearmount family, can be found in North Haven. Expected? Never heard of him. What makes him so great? Many things. For starters, Susie doesn't bother to listen, focused on twirling her drink around in her glass. Bagger nods along, genuinely interested in whatever reason. Anyway, he has to be ancient now. He retired from the public eyes 8 decades ago. If he's even still alive, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't know what's happened to his family's museum. Maybe we should set it on fire again and make sure he gets the memo this time. You wouldn't actually, would you? Want to find out? Have an annoying habit of doing the opposite of what I ask you, so no comment. The bartender leaves to serve another customer. Edgar starts patting his pockets. Bullocks, I'm all out. Don't hold yourself back on my account. The corner shops should still be open. You don't mind me leaving you alone? He's already climbed to his feet. I think I'll live, or at least not die. Again. I'll be back in no time. I like how he says bullocks, like, there's no like, crap, jinkies. No, it's just bullocks. And he's gone. Jigger, coffee, cigs. He must sure have a lot of stupid vices. She stares down at her drink. Not that mine are any better. She sips slowly, letting her eyes roam the room. She's not sure where the compulsion comes from. Not as if she'll discover anything new. It's always the same old faces. No way. She is definitely new. Ooh. Okay. It's giving Batgirl from Sonic, I'm not gonna lie. She is giving. It's also kind of giving like Monster High. It's a mixture of both. Cersei meets eyes with a woman at the far end of the pub. Beauty is no stranger to Cersei. She's seen it on many faces, many bodies, even a few hearts. This woman isn't just beautiful. She's. The woman smiles. Cersei feels compelled to return the smile. Oh, I'm worried if we ignore her, that she'll come and be like, oh, you ignore me? But there's also a part that's like, if I smile at her, she'll know that we're looking. Smile at her. She returns the smile, but looks back down at her drink just as quickly. Not looking to hook up with anyone tonight. Although that's a bit presumptuous of her, maybe the woman was just being nice. Not really looking for nice either. Wait. Cersei's head snaps back, but the woman is already gone. Nowhere to be seen. Only her absence does Cersei realize that she couldn't detect what the woman was. Whoever or whatever that woman was, she means trouble. Forget her? Want her? Oh, I'm not wanting her. Sorry, honey. She is gorgeous, I'm not gonna lie, but... It's giving danger. It's giving danger. It's giving suspicious. Let's forget her for now. It's likely the last I'll ever see of her. But if she ever does show her face again, it won't matter. Nothing special about her, no matter how much Cersei might wish there was something there. Anything. Only to cure the perpetual boredom eating away at her. Preoccupied by her thoughts, Cersei barely knows Edgar's return. Flips off his jacket, slides back into his seat, and gestures for another round of drinks from the bartender. What took you so long? Ran into some trouble? Don't be stingy with the details. What kind of trouble? He lights a cig, angling his body towards her. Then he's brushed, but neither move away, used to the lack of personal space. Oh, please tell me I can romance him. I did not look at who we can romance, but he's so fine. Well, so you see, no, never mind. Are you blushing? My God, you are. Not on purpose. Unfortunately, I don't think it's me having this effect on you. There must have been something else. Edgar twists and squirms in his seat. No, I know the little guy. Shut up. Or someone else? Who? Hold on. Was asked out on a date. What's got that on the date? Oh, Kya. Yes, Queen, yes. He spits the words out so fast Cersei would have missed them if not for her supernatural hearing. What's got that on the date? You're messing with me. I wish I was. This is stressing me out. Wait, you said yes? What? Obviously I said no. Why would it be obvious? Was something wrong with her? No, she was pretty and nice and smelled good. Many details now. Sorry, I was just thinking she had a nice perfume. You'd like it, actually. No, you're only making it weirder. I said no because it would never have worked. She's human. As are you. But I don't live like one. Excuses, excuses. Think about it for a second. I run a supernatural detective agency. I'll explain that to someone outside that business. Not to mention how I'm up all night. Sleep most of the day. I do the same. But, oh come on, it's not that weird. No sane normal person would want to be with a man with someone like me. I beg your pardon? Oh come on. What if she doesn't fit into your normal schedule? You make time when you're in love. Love? God, I definitely don't have time for that. Not when there's clients to be managed and bills to be paid and you don't have to work all the time, Eddie. You could take off one night of drinking. You get laid, clap them cheeks. What if someone hears you? Oh, come on. You're a grown man. You can't possibly still be embarrassed by the word sex. I'm not. We're in public. You know they're friends. You just know they're friends. Sex, 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 sex. Jesus Christ. Breeding, mating, copopulating, order creating. What is it you Brits say? Shagging? Cersei's cackling like a mad woman. Edgar hisses under his breath. Cersei, I am begging you to stop. Edgar looks about ready to explode from embarrassment, anxiously glancing around to make sure no one heard her. Probably the bartender heard. Cersei doesn't have the heart to remind him that they're at a bar for supernaturals. Almost everyone's guaranteed to have overheard. Anyway, wouldn't it be nice to be with someone, even if only for the night? I'm sorry. Oh, he's so fine. He's so fine. Edgar laughed, shaking his head, more to himself than in response to her words. Somehow I prefer to be here. Oh, with me? I wouldn't necessarily consider your presence to be an advantage, but yes, I prefer to be here with you. As he brings her a glass to her lips, hiding her smile behind it. I can't choose either or. Oh, dear God. It's a shame he said no. Good thing that no. Selfish, but Cersei's pleased because he rejected the stranger. Rawr. I just want to caress him. Just a little arm on a shoulder. I'd be jealous if he'd suddenly had less time for us. The relationship isn't romantic, so it's not like he'd be cheating on her. She liked their routine. It's the only stable routine she's ever had. She doesn't want to change it. Besides, he's got a point. It's not like he could still work with her and lead a normal life. It's just not how it works. Of course, there are people like Raul and Dante's superior, Orion, who have human families and try to live as normally as possible. But Orion's an anomaly. With time, vampires like him learn the hard way that rejecting your nature never works in the long run. Edgar's different. He could pack his bags, move cities, and go back to living a normal life whenever he wants. As long as he remains here, though, He'll never be able to pull that wool back over his eyes. They're trying to protect his gorgeousness from me. Edgar taps out his cigarette in the nearest ashtray. Enough about that. Did I miss anything around here? No. For some reason, it doesn't feel right to mention the mysterious woman. Maybe because she knows how Edgar worries and she doesn't want him to start. Bartender slides their new drinks towards them. They clink glasses. To 20 years of this hellish profession, and to 20 more. In the end, Edgar has one too many drinks. He leans on Cersei the entire walk back to his flat. Oh my goodness, this is funny. She stops when they reach his building. He's never invited her upstairs before, and she doubts it'll be any different tonight. Will you make it upstairs on your own? Why wouldn't I? He pushes off of her and stumbles up the stairs to the entrance. He almost falls over several times, but by some miracle, he manages to reach the door without breaking any bones. See, he hiccups. I'm perfectly fine. Right. See you tomorrow night. He waves her goodbye. She waves back. Good night. She waits until he's safely inside the building. Chances are low he'll die on his way up. Lift, so Cersei begins to stroll back to her own flat. Legend has it he walked into his front door, face planted first on the floor. She walks at a leisurely pace, like the threat of the rising sun won't be upon her any moment now. Like her slow pace might delay the inevitable day. Cruising for a bruising. Trish! I promise I'm staring respectively. Cersei strips down to her underwear. Her one-bedroom flat has no bedroom, only a sofa. But that's where she lies down. There's the sun. Outside, the sun slowly rises, and the world Cersei will never get to be a part of again wakes up. She stares up at the ceiling, trying not to think about the growing resentment she feels every time she has to hide away from the sun. You know, that's part of me that realized that vampires will never know what a bird is, technically. Because birds go to sleep at night, usually. I mean, some of them usually be out at night, maybe. But for the most part, she'll never get to see, like, you know, a flock of birds and stuff. I didn't always hate daytime. When her common sense returned after her fangling years, Cersei had found that the day offered endless opportunities for self-improvement. She read novels, she meditated, she brushed up on her history, learned martial arts, studied different languages, read some more, slept with all kinds of people. Men, women, people who didn't really identify as either. You mean me? Oh, the non-binary girly? Oh. Anyway, half of the time, she didn't even feed on them. She liked to cuddle in bed afterwards, basking in their heat. When films became a thing, she found herself obsessed with cinema, lived hundreds of different lives through the stories of others. But like everything else, it soon got dull, finding herself in escapism to distract herself from her own thoughts. Lately, she can't be bothered to do much of anything anymore. This is all there is to eternity, an endless cycle of wanting and no longer wanting, forever falling in and out of love with what once meant the world to you. Maybe. She shuts her eyes. If I close my eyes and can see the darkness. Anyway, if she pretends hard enough, you can almost imagine she's dreaming. Where do her dreams bring her today? We shall find out on the next episode. I've been recording for 2 hours. So, well, almost 2 hours. So, we'll find out next time. And, finish up. I absolutely am adoring this right now. I think I'll leave this up just so I don't lose anything. I think I can close it out, but I'm lazy, so whoop-de-doo. But this is getting very, very interesting. So yeah, we're gonna come back to this. I am enjoying this so well. I am glad that for once my YouTube feed actually gave me something good, because for heaven's sakes I'm just like scrolling and it's just a bunch of brain rot, and like it's funny at first until you see it in every single short, or it's just overbearing amount of noise. Anyways, Let me see. As always, if you have any game requests, feel free to comment it in the comment section. If you want to join the live streams, we live stream on both YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. I said both, like it wasn't 3, but anyways, at 12:30 a.m. Central Timing. I hope you see then. If not, tis fine. You know, you can always pop in and say hi. I am really hoping that I can stick with this because I know I'm going to be fangirling. Let me have to find out I end this and it just be like, boop, end of demo. I have no clue, but right now I am enjoying this. I am adoring this. But yeah, that being said, see you in the next one. See ya.